again.
Go live. You are the chair.
The chair.
Just checking. I thought it was all that work in the garden that was catching.
Oh well, yeah. I think I might need to WD-40 it again. I mean, it's been a while. Yeah, not
anyone watching. Yeah.
Not my knees or anything.
We don't believe in chemical applications anywhere other than sort of mechanical things with WD-40. Before anybody accuses us of anything.
Wow. So, what do you reckon then? Can you spot the difference?
You've coloured your hair.
Caitlin coloured my hair. And I like the colour of the bottom because it's not brassy anymore. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
However, either the dye was rubbish or she's completely missed all my greys. I have got exactly the same amount of greys in exactly the same places as I had them before. Look at that, look.
Right, did she put the dye on the roots for the majority of the time?
She started at the roots. I don't know what she was doing. It was just hilarious.
Right, well, the dye needs to be on the roots for, say, 20-25 minutes and then about 10 minutes through the rest of the hair.
Well, I'm thinking of going and getting the exact same dye and telling her to just put it on my head.
Instead of your outfit.
Like, well, don't touch this bit for a start. Like, literally just come around here. Because apart from anything, I think I should have had two, to be honest. Because I've got quite a lot of hair. So I think that might be the plan now. I like the colour, and it's turned out all right. It's not green. It's not, you know, this is the dark beige blonde, apparently.
Yeah, I think any darker and it would be too much.
Yeah.
And any lighter and it wouldn't be enough.
It will lighten. I know it will, won't it?
Yes, but in a gentle way.
Yeah. It's just this bit at the temples. I mean, come on.
Are you worrying about or anything?
I wasn't really too worried, but I said she could do it. The lengths you go to entertain and bond with your children, you know.
Was Caitlin mentioned Hannah Gadsby on Netflix?
What?
Hannah Gadsby.
Don't know Hannah Gadsby. Who's Hannah Gadsby?
She's an Australian. They sort of market her as a lesbian comedian.
All right, okay.
She did a show called Nanette, which they've just put onto Netflix now because there's been quite a lot of demand for it. Because there's another one that came out on Netflix last week,
right?
Which I think was called Douglas, which is named after one of her dogs. Just know, because. And I have to say, I laughed an awful lot. Just found it very, very funny. But I think Nanette, where she talks about coming out, and society and how it was then, where she was born in Tasmania, and she says, you know, it's all relative. She's really low gene pool and sort of side eyes, things like that, and saying that basically 90% of the people that she's related to wanted her to fuck off with her bag of AIDS.
Nice.
And leave because that's what they thought about homosexuality or being gay. And she sort of takes you through that journey, and she does some serious telling off of the men in the audience, and in the end she sort of stops and she says, and for the men here who were feeling a bit persecuted, well spotted. Yeah. The second show, if I hadn't seen Nanette, I think you would enjoy the second show on its own because she's just funny. Her education is in art history, so a lot of what she talks about is around that. And in the first one, she really has a go about Picasso and underage girls and stuff like that, which the art world doesn't like you talking about. Because apparently you should judge the art and not the man. But in the second one, she does this little bit of a lecture with sort of pictures from history, and she's going, obviously women have been around, clearly from this picture, prior to the invention of clothing.
Oh yeah.
And small pieces of cloth that didn't need to be stuffed up the crack of your ass.
Not very practical for doing the gardening, is it really?
And she said it's amazing women can't. I totally understand why we can't parallel park, because apparently it took us centuries to figure out how to get dressed. But, yeah, I think for a sort of female solidarity watch, it was very, very funny. The first one's quite emotional.
Right.
Because there's obviously a lot of pain and trauma there. So maybe leave that one. But the second one, which I think is called Douglas.
Right.
Very, very funny and very clever.
Cool. I'll have a look out for it. I've been watching Gardener's World.
A complete difference.
Bit of Monty Don. It's just a little bit sad that Nigel died, though, isn't it?
It is sad, but you know, it is what it is. I remember being very upset when Jeff Hamilton, who used to be on Gardener's World, when he died.
Oh.
I'm thinking, you know, how's it ever going to work without Jeff Hamilton? Just how's this going to be? But you know, it works out all right in the end. It's fine.
It's the cycle of life, isn't it?
It is. You know, it just, life finds a way.
It does. It does. And look,
I see knitting going on.
I have a thing.
A thing.
What's that all about? It might be a cardigan. It might not be a cardigan.
I'm on the preemie size of the cute lacy hoodie with the texture.
See, you get all that beautiful stuff. I just go stocking stitch.
Yeah, but there'll be people who just want that because
they're
getting back to knitting.
Yeah.
And it's just a gentle way of getting back into shaping and all the other stuff, armholes and.
But I just love doing stocking stitch and garter stitch. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lazy person.
No, maybe you just like the simplicity of it.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's cool. So you can do all the fancy stuff and I'll do all the basic stuff. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, works well, doesn't it? Have you got drink?
Okay. I've got a hazelnut cappuccino today.
How posh.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort of drink them up and more or less get rid of them because.
Do you have a lot?
I've quite a few in the house, and there's certain ones that Jake won't drink, so I'm quietly drinking those.
Right.
So that they're gone, really.
I just have a cup of hot water with a slice of lemon. Trying to be good.
Yeah, you're so good. You're lucky that my mum's not watching, because in a loud voice now she'd be saying, "Are you constipated?"
Not right now, because I've been drinking a lot of hot water with lemon. Yeah. So funny. I don't mind it, to be honest. And I'm trying to drink more water, and I'd rather drink warm water than cold water, actually, even unless I'm out in the garden and it's boiling hot and I just want something refreshing. I think because I'm used to drinking so many warm drinks, I can't go from lots of cups of tea to cold water. It's just too much of a shock, I think.
Yeah, I much prefer having hot water with lemon or a little bit of cordial or something like that rather than a cold drink. Unless it's taught boiling outside.
Exactly.
I did debate about whether we should actually go online today. I had this sort of internal thing of should we, shouldn't we? Because a lot of people are doing the blackout Tuesday, no posting and all the rest of it.
Well,
but we'd already said that we were going to be live.
Is that for
the
George Floyd?
Yeah.
See, I don't go on social media really very much. I haven't been on Instagram in weeks. I barely go on Facebook, so I haven't really seen it. I know Helen sent that message about that Ravelry group, and I was like, didn't even know I joined it. I don't even think I did join it. Do you think she just went around joining loads of people?
I don't know what group is that.
Were you not in the? Oh, you might not have been in the messenger group. Helen sent a message out last night and said that she was in a Ravelry group that wasn't actually Ravelry. It was just some woman who was obviously promoting her own business and had decided to use the name. And she had something like 5,000 odd members of this group.
Right.
And Helen had sent a message on Facebook Messenger saying, I noticed that you were members as I left. I didn't see the full group like membership. I know Tanya was there. So maybe you weren't a member of the group, so she didn't join you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went on and left, but I don't remember joining. And she had something like 5,000 odd members or something. And the pinned post was, I've got rid of all the troublemakers. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. They're having a go at me and my business and my husband and his business and everything. And I'm thinking, I mean, I didn't really read it because I thought I'm not interested in this. But it struck me from the little that I did read that people are probably a little bit miffed that she's using the name Ravelry, and then surprised when people complain that it's not actually Ravelry.
Well, yeah.
I mean, how, like Helen said, how difficult is it to choose your own company name and your own group name?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't understand the need that people seem to feel to ride on the back of other people's good work.
Exactly.
And that's what she's doing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then getting surprised that people don't like it.
Mm.
So anyway, I just left. But like my point was, I don't really go on any social media. I'm trying to stay away from it for a while, to be honest. I think it can be quite toxic. I came off Facebook for over a year. I didn't have it on my phone at all. I never looked at it, never ever went on it. And I felt so much happier. And even now I put it back on my phone to do like this sort of stuff, but I don't actually go on my timeline and I don't look at what other people are doing.
I check certain things for work stuff.
Yeah, I'll go on like this group and I'll look at my notification things. But you know, when you go on your own personal thing and all the people that you're friends with and you've got all their posts and that, I never look at that. I never look. I just found it was getting a bit unhealthy, really, to be honest. But that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I think a lot of it can be. It can be rather toxic.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it does you an awful lot of good just to get the hell out of it.
And it's amazing how quickly you get in the habit of not looking. You know, I know people that can spend hours on social media, hours and hours, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I haven't got the time. Apart from anything, I think I struggle enough to find enough hours in the day as it is. Oh no, Lorraine, where have you gone? Am I on my own? Help. Oh God, look at that. Look at all those greys. Is she coming back? Am I on my own? Is anybody watching me? Lorraine, can you get back in? Oh no. Let me text her, see what's happening. Anyway, what's everyone up to? Is everybody in or out? Do I need to? I don't even know if I need to leave. Or is it just me on my own? Right, I'm sending her a text saying, can you get back in? We'll see if she gets here. If anybody's with me, you can tell me what you're working on so I'm not talking to myself. Be quite nice. Right, Lorraine's text to say that she's trying to get back in. So we'll see. If not, we might have to leave and see you again in a moment. But hopefully it won't be too long, because I haven't got anything to waffle about on my own. I can waffle quite easily with other people. Actually, my hair's quite a bit darker on the screen than it is in real life. Anybody else dyed their hair at home? Or are you all waiting for the hairdressers to open? Or are you not bothered? It's just me that's bothered. Probably just me. Arthur's asleep on the floor. You can come say hello, Arthur. Arthur? Arthur? Come on then. Come say hello. Look. Who's there? Oh, who's that? Is that you? Arthur? Do you want a sweetie? Did you get him a sweetie? Is Deborah still there or is she gone? Oh, Arthur wants a sweetie. Arthur is a sugar fiend, so we have to give him the fruit pastels. Come here. Can you see his little snooty? Yay, he likes that. Yeah, he's a good boy, aren't you? I think Lorraine must be having a bit of a mare. I'm eating a shrimp. You want some shrimp? Arthur wants some shrimp. How cute is he? Pretty cute. So is everyone making the most of the last day of sunshine? I don't think anybody's out there, are they? I think you're all enjoying the gardens. Arthur's been enjoying the garden. Go shopping tonight and get some herbs. I fancy some chives and I fancy some rosemary. So we'll see if I can get any. Apparently you can just buy the stuff that's in the supermarket that's living, that you would normally just have on your windowsill, and you can grow from that. So we'll give it a try, see what happens. Don't think Lorraine's making it. I think she's having a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I'm just making a bit of a baby cardigan. Restart laptop. Oh no. So Lorraine's having a bit of a mess. She can't get in. So yeah, it's just going to be a plain one. It's got a little bit of a garter band at the bottom. And then I'm working it from the bottom up in one piece to the armpits. I like a nice plain knit. Hang on, let me see what she's doing. Restart laptop. Okay, so I'll just ask her if I need to come out. Do I need to come out? Because, you know, you don't want me to be talking to myself for no reason, do you? I think I've got hair dye on my face. Caitlin sent it everywhere. You know, be fine. It's not like I've got to go shopping or anything tonight. Alright, so she's just replying. I might be disappearing in a minute. We'll see. Just wait and see what she says. I don't know. Waiting to restart. Okay. So she's not sure if she's going to have to call again. So we'll see. What? Arthur wants some more sweeties. The sugar fiend strikes again. He might have a banana. He likes bananas. You know, a foam banana, Arthur. Come here then. We just entertain everyone with you. Look. Should we just show everyone Arthur? Look, can you see him? Yeah. Uh-oh. Anne Hall mentioned me. That's not good. Is she calling me? What's she saying? Anne Hall. I can't see you. Oh, Anne! I'm on my own. Lorraine's had a nightmare. The computer's just like kind of crashed on her or something or restarted, so she's not sure if she's coming back or not. You'll have to keep me company because I'm here on my own and I'm just waffling and just feeding the dog sweeties. There's something to do because I've got nothing else to do. Do you want a shrimp? I quite like shrimps. We're waiting to see if she can get back in. I know. Tell me. What do you think of the colour in my hair then, Anne? You think Caitlin did a good job? It's not very green, is it? What do you reckon? It's quite nice. Oh, look, she's working. I'm just sitting here waffling away. It's not exactly work. It's hard working when it's so nice outside, and especially the last day. Are we going to get wet on our run tomorrow? It's not going to be great. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but she missed all the greys. Look. Hang on, it's worse this side. Can you see all those greys? It's hilarious. So I'm thinking I need another dye just for my roots because obviously I'm still grey. So all that effort for no reason. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to sack her. I said to her I didn't think much of that hair salon. It was a good job that I wasn't paying for it because I wouldn't have been giving her a tip, that's for sure. Or the tip might have been cover the grey hairs next time. Arthur wants some banana. Can we see him? Yeah, disgusting dog. All gone now. All gone. So I'm going to go to the shop tonight and see if I can get some chives. I'm going to grow some chives. I've got lavender, but it's non-edible. I actually said it on the thingy. Bless her, my foot. She promised me she was a professional. She said she's been watching Raymondo on YouTube and she knows exactly what she's doing. Obviously not. Teenagers don't have one, I tell you. My bees like my lavender. There's always a bee on it. I said to Callum that the bee's obviously called Trevor because I just like the name Trevor. She lied. Caitlin totally lied. She said Raymondo taught her everything she knows, but I reckon Raymondo wouldn't be very happy with the result. I mean, if I went to the hairdressers and come out looking like this, I'd be going back the next day complaining. I think Lorraine is having a nightmare. I've been sitting here waffling to myself for about 10 minutes. And I'm not very interesting. I've got nothing to say on my own. That's why I keep having to bring the dog in. I wish I had been on the wine again. Unfortunately, I have to go out shopping tonight. so I have to be sober to drive. It would be much better. Thursday night is drinky poos night. I might get a bottle of wine tonight. I think I deserve it. I think Lorraine's just sitting laughing at me, actually. There's not a lot going on in my garden at the moment. I've got one flower bed, and it is beautiful. It's a beautiful garden, but it's only a little garden. I've hunted out all my pots and put those in the corner because it couldn't get it going all the way to the end. Because there was a massive, great big thing of concrete in the corner, so we couldn't work around that. So I'm just going to put pots on the top of the concrete, and that's what I'm going to put my herbs in. And I've got a hanging thing that's coming on order. It's very technical, isn't it? This hanging thing that's going to come, and it hangs on the fence, and you can plant things like strawberries and tomatoes and stuff in it. So hopefully it'll be out of the way of the dog, and he won't be able to eat them because he absolutely loves strawberries and tomatoes. He'd have a poorly tummy if I let him. He'd eat them all. Absolute nightmare. Little Miss Sunshine. So yeah. I don't know. Shall I see what Lorraine's up to? I'll just tell her I'm waffling. I'm waffling. And then a laughy face. She'll think it's funny. Oh! Oh, hurrah! Oh, thank goodness for that. I was even waffling about my garden and all sorts at that point.
It's like waiting for dial-up, isn't it? Stupid sack of crap, Hewlett-Packard, running Windows updates when Windows updates are switched off.
How can it do that then?
Because there's only so much you can switch off, and it runs other crap in the background.
Nightmare.
Because it's just awful. They think they own your computer. Do my head in. So sorry about that. Let's see if I don't know if we've lost our Facebook connection there.
No, we're still there.
Are we?
Yeah.
I completely had to shut down and restart.
Luckily, Anne was there. She saved my life.
Oh, right. Someone to chat to at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have been just sitting here going,
Yeah, Coco, what makes you think that I need a Labrador right this second?
Oh, Arthur did entertain people with his sugar obsession. I've been feeding him sweeties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's good. So I'll go shopping tonight. Anne asked if I've been on the wine, and I said, unfortunately not, because it's shopping night.
Well, no, you can't drink and drive, can you? Well, unless, of course, you're going to go to Bald Castle.
I was going to say, unfortunately, you can't, because I think the shopping experience would be highly improved by half a bottle of wine, to be perfectly honest.
Prosecco in a straw.
Yeah.
Just through a straw. As you wandered around the shop, going, ha, 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 ha.
I should put Prosecco in this, shouldn't I? And then I can
Yeah.
And people would just think I'm drinking my water. Keeping hydrated, guys. That's all it is.
Right, and if it was sort of a vegan thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to expect it to be different, so yeah. I really wish I could get one of those unicorn outfits for shopping.
That would be fab.
I think that'd be great, just wandering around Aldi.
Yeah. They have a little thing to blow them up as well, don't they?
I don't know.
But it's very much like when I was teaching, we had a couple of the costumes. I think there was a Santa Claus, and I think there was a snowman that the staff could wear for the Christmas parties, and you could turn them on and they kind of blew up a little bit. And I think the unicorn one was very much like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, it's nice to have a little bit of a breeze in there sometimes, isn't it?
If you get the urge.
You know, you don't want it getting all too warm and sweaty and stuff.
Oh no, 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 no. So a sweaty
No.
unicorn. It just, yeah,
Mm.
doesn't sound good, does it?
Not an attractive look, the sweaty unicorn.
No.
No, I don't know.
I think
So I think I think it might be, well, I don't know. I'm hoping it might be quiet tonight, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Did you see the queues outside IKEA?
I did. What a bunch of idiots.
I mean, what is so urgent that you need to queue up for 4 hours?
I do not know.
And someone was saying that there was whole families of five, their mum, dad, and three kids, and they were just there for the day out because it was they were bored. They'd not gone anywhere or done anything, and they were sick of going to the park.
See, and
Really?
I can't relate to that at all.
No, it's not even as if the cafe and the toilets and stuff were open.
No, I mean, I can't relate to bored for
No,
one
I
thing.
can't. No.
But going somewhere for the sake of it and just not being prepared for the fact that, it may not be as exciting as you think. And
As
what
much as
what
it
do these people do when entertainment isn't completely on tap? I mean, have they no imagination or?
what would be the real pain for me was I wouldn't even make it 4 hours in a queue because, well, I'd have to go home long before then to go to the toilet. There's no way I'm going 4 hours without going to the little girl's room.
Well, no, I couldn't do that either, I don't think. Well, particularly if I've been on Prosecco
Well,
during the shopping experience.
yeah, because if your other half's there and he's quite willing to do the driving because he's got to test his eyes, you can sup on the prosecco then, can't you?
Well, I mean, the eye test thing really is there for drunks and liars, isn't it? Is that
Well, yeah, he can be the liar. So, you know, at the
okay?
end of the day, if your other half has to test his eyesight by driving, you're better off being drunk in the passenger seat. So if it goes wrong, you're not really aware of what's happening. You don't want to be
Yeah.
sober in that experience.
I do unconsciously brake quite loudly in the passenger seat, like thud, thud, thud.
I
And
agree with you.
and I'm leaning like this because Mike always drives on the wrong side of the bloody road. Since he did his motorbike test, his road position is completely changed. And I get that on a bike, you need to be in the middle on a corner to see what's coming. But if the passenger's in the middle on a corner in a car, it's kind of suggesting that the car's on the wrong side of the road and he's continually having to violently swerve back in.
Imagine
It's got to the point where I don't let him drive me anywhere.
Well, you're better off then, aren't you? But can you imagine my horror at the fact that my husband quite often forgets which country he's in and actually physically drives on the wrong side of the road?
Oh, Mike hasn't done that.
Yeah, he's done that. I've had to remind him a couple of times, which is a bit scary. He's not gone round the roundabout the wrong way yet, but I think it's only a matter of time.
Give it time.
Yeah, especially after this one, after having been away for about 6 months.
Close.
Don't flash that.
That's me chat.
Don't flash that. You'll have people taking screenshots.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, I'm definitely creaking today, I tell you. Oh. I haven't actually been in the garden today. I've had a day off. Oh, it's beautiful. I do like.
Say you're not covered in paint spots.
No, that was
just
well. I actually
warm brown speckles.
I finished the paint of the fence. What day was that? Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have a few more fences to do, but I haven't got any more paint, and it's not available at the moment. Phil tried to get it on click and collect for me and it wasn't available, and I said, look, just leave it. I'm not that much in a hurry, to be perfectly honest. If it's not available, I'm not going, because Callum and I went yesterday, Monday, we went to Phil did the click and collect. He got us a broom and he got us loads of topsoil and compost and all the rest of it. And we went at, it was probably about 9:15 to the click and collect. Your order's ready, come within 2 days. So we got there, parked up and walked across, and the general queue was huge. Literally, it was not quite as bad as IKEA, but it was huge. So we went round to the click and collect bit, and there was one guy in front of us. He was taking forever, but once he went and we got called forward, it took 2 seconds. She went, "What's your order number? What's your name?" Went in, got it, come out. It was all on a trolley ready. We just took the trolley and went back to the car. Perfect. But I said to him, I would be really, really annoyed. Could you imagine if you'd gone in that queue, got in, and they didn't have what you wanted anyway?
Well, that's part of the problem, isn't it? People are so desperate to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because they've got fairly empty lives without entertainment on tap. I kind of wonder about that and think, well, you know, what do you do? It's like I said to Jake, we won't be able to go live next Tuesday, probably. I've got a power cut between 9 in the morning and 3:30, which might go on till 4:30, 5 o'clock, might finish early. I might message and say, oh, we're good to go. But as far as I'm concerned, the power's going to be off. So everything that I need to charge will be charged. I'll download a couple of Audible books and I'll get on with some pattern writing. So it's not the end of the world. And if it's a dry day and it's not too bad, I might start fence painting again.
Yeah.
And doing a couple of jobs outside, or, you know, gutter clearing or something like that. Get some stuff done. But at no point in this lockdown have I sat there and thought, I'm fed up and I'm bored and I don't know what to do with myself. Because everywhere I look, there's something I could do.
Yeah. And I keep starting new jobs as well. There's millions of jobs. I mean, we decided, I sent you that picture of my flower bed. I wanted to put a flower bed there. And I was looking at it. And before I started, I said to Callum, I said, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to put this flower bed in and your dad's going to come home and he's going to complain that all the mud and everything that I've put in the flower bed is just rotting the decking away.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, there's a load of fence panels there. See, when we first moved in, the fence on one side, he wasn't happy with it. And he said to the guy before we bought the house, he said, I want that fence raising up.
Right.
So he just put some smaller bits on the top. I didn't ever like it. I thought it looked all right. Anyway, it came down in one of the storms one year. And my brother-in-law came round and he put the main panels back up, but he didn't put the little bits at the top.
Yeah.
So they've been in a pile on the decking for about 3 years, waiting to go back up onto the fence.
Right.
Honestly, yeah. So I said to Callum, let's use those bits of old wood, right? So we did that. And we cut to size and everything, and it looked lovely. I didn't paint it. I should have painted it, but I just wanted to get it over and done with, to be honest. And then I said to Anne the other day, I said, I don't even bother telling him anymore because he's quite critical about stuff. You'll say to him, oh, look at this thing that I've done. And he won't go, oh, yeah, well done. He'll just go, oh, well, that's wrong with it, or this is wrong with it. Do you know what I mean? He can't just say, well done, you've done a good effort.
He'd be getting smack in the head.
Well, yeah, but he obviously knew that I was up to something because he knew I had plants and he'd ordered all my soil and everything. And I thought, he's only going to ask anyway. So I just sent him a photo of the same one that I sent you. And his first one was like, oh, that looks really good, well done. And then 2 seconds later, comes back and he goes, is that my fencing panels? Yeah. Well, why didn't you paint them? Because it makes a really good job look untidy. And I went, oh, because it was a last minute decision to use them. And I had Callum, and if I'd have waited to paint them and for them to dry, he'd have gone off somewhere, been bored, and I wouldn't have had him to help me.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Oh, well, I was going to put those back up on the fence.
Well, wait, what year was that going to be in?
Well, I actually said to him, I said, well, when you eventually get home, what you can do is on the decking, there are loads of pieces of the planks that are broken and old and need replacing. And he knows that they do anyway. Said, so you can replace the decking panels that need it. And I'll swap you. You can have your fencing panels back and I'll have those old decking ones that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
And he was quite happy with that. And then I said to Callum, I said, but he doesn't know that we've cut some of them yet.
Well, you know.
Because I don't think it'll ever happen. But, you know, personally, it's never going to happen, is it?
No, not really.
It's never happened so far, so it's not going to. So anyway, I'm in no bother about it. And it wasn't a major job. We literally just dug a bit of a trough, stuck the fencing in, and then packed it either side with soil, and it stood upright. That's all it is. It's not, you know, we've not constructed anything. We've not drilled anything. We've not screwed anything in. I just wanted to protect the decking bit from the mud, basically.
Yeah.
Because I knew what he would say. It was obvious. I've been with that man 25 years. I know exactly what's going to be said.
Yeah, Mike's always full of criticism on jobs he's never done. So it's like he'll turn up after however many months or possibly a year. I don't know what I'm saying. And it'll be the dogs are overweight, or you haven't done this job in the house, or you haven't done that. But he won't make any mention of the fact that he's got 3 houses empty at the moment, all of which need work on. Has he done any work on any of them in the last however many weeks of lockdown? His excuse was he couldn't get materials. He's got a garage full of materials, and he's got a timber business that he closed.
Well,
He's got the other stuff that he needs. I mean, for God's sake, he's got paint kicking about, and you can order from Screwfix and Tool Station, and they deliver. And I know that because I had a delivery.
And Wickes have been open. B&Q's been open. They've all been open.
Well, and he's got a Wickes up there. We don't have, do we have one here? I'm not sure. I don't use it anyway. But I mean, the thing is, everything was there. He could have gone and done the insulation that needs putting into the loft at number 28, but no, that won't have been done. He's been doing that for I don't know how long. He's been living in the house that he's in now without finishing the externals and connecting all the services. That's been like that. When did we meet? 2008. So it's been like that since then. It's still not finished.
What's that, 12 years?
Yeah. And I just think, just pick one thing and finish it.
Yeah.
Pick something and get it done.
Get it done, man.
Well, just, yeah. So we're not talking in person at the moment. He emails, mostly about the dogs more than me.
Right.
I'm much happier to see them because they're not scratchy and mean like I am.
But they don't point out things that he's trying to avoid for himself, I think.
Well, and I always think, you know, if you want to have a go at me about they're not walked enough, they have not lost enough weight, they've not done this, they've not that, then be here and do it yourself. If you don't like the way I'm doing something, get off your backside and you do it.
You can come and walk them.
But don't criticise what I've done on my own. I mean,
when you're trying to cope with everything else.
Well, he hasn't walked them at all this year because he hasn't seen them.
Right.
He was here for 24 hours in December, and that's the first time I'd seen him since the 5th of September. And he was averaging a visit about every 6 weeks, something like that, prior to that. So he's seen them a handful of times.
They'll be forgetting.
So I'm not prepared to take any criticism about how they're cared for from someone who takes no active part in the process.
Tell him that they've forgotten who he is next time he emails about them.
Well, the problem is they'll turn up, they'll smell him a mile off because he'll need a shower. Yeah. And they'll go nuts.
I know. Phil would be the same. I said to Callum this morning, because the dog went mad when he saw Callum this morning. He got up out of bed and the dog's like, "Yay, I haven't seen you for hours." And I said to Callum, I said, "Oh my God, look at the reaction you're getting after just a few hours. Imagine what your dad's going to get when he eventually comes home. It's not fair." And he loves his dad more than anybody in the whole wide world. He absolutely adores that man.
Yeah, they love Mike. And when he's here, I am nothing but wallpaper.
Yeah. You're just in the way. You're just trying to get the attention away from them, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure that's what they think. What have I done there? That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Are you still with us, Anne? Anne says that he loves me because he gets me click and collect. It's so romantic. We were taking. She said, you know, what's he bought you? And last time it was varnish. He's so romantic.
Oh, well.
Never mind, eh? It's really warm. It's getting muggy. I think we're definitely getting a turn in the weather.
Yeah, we definitely got rain heading in this direction. I can feel it in the air.
I don't want rain. I'm quite enjoying the nice weather.
I'm enjoying it, but it would save a lot of people a lot of watering.
I've been out every evening and watered my little flower bed.
Right.
Since Friday, when I bought the plants, every evening at 6:30, once the sun's gone off, I go out there with my hose pipe and just give them a little, you know.
Bit of a tickle.
Yeah. And my poppies keep having new flowers every morning.
See, I've got lavender, and there's a solitary foxglove that's self-seeded.
Right.
Which is good because I like foxgloves.
Yeah, they're pretty.
But beyond that, that's pretty much it for stuff that grows in what little bit of space we have.
Yeah.
And that's fine because it's no effort.
Yeah.
But I was tempted to, I actually had to water the lavender, which loves dry soil.
Mm.
I actually had to water the lavender the other day. So in that,
yeah.
So what's going on here?
Was it looking a little bit like, I need a drink?
It was uncharacteristically, as opposed to sitting there going, my feet are wet, I don't like this.
What are you doing to me?
Yeah, turn that tap off.
That's funny. Yeah.
I don't know.
I've got mine's right in the south face in there, and the sun does go behind a tree because the woman next door's got the biggest tree known to mankind. So it goes behind there for a little while, but for the rest of the day it's pretty much in sunlight all day long.
Right.
So it'll be happy with that, because apparently poppies and lavender and sweet pea, which I've put in there, all like a lot of sun. So let's see.
I love sweet peas.
Yeah, I got two kinds. I've got some climbing ones which I've put towards the back, and I've got some like spreading ones that I've put more to the front. So yeah,
beautiful colours and delicate flowers. They're just irresistible.
It's just a pity that you have to plant them every year.
Well, yeah,
but never mind, eh?
I suppose it could be worse.
Yeah, my mother-in-law gave me some bluebell seeds.
All right.
She'd had some bluebells earlier in the year, and obviously they've died off, and it's just the seed pods left. So I've put those in the ground. Hopefully they'll come up in the spring, and I'm going to put some daffodil bulbs in there as well.
Oh, nice. Jake's seeds arrived yesterday.
For his chilies, what's he gone for?
There's a mix of 10.
Yeah.
With names like Scorpion and stuff like that.
There's
one that's meant to be the hottest chili in the world.
Right.
All, you know, various. If anybody's really interested, I'll do a list of what they are.
Yeah.
But that's what he's ordered, and then another an envelope arrived, and I said, "Oh, that's not your pay slip. What's that?" "Oh, I've got something for me, and there's another one coming in a few days for Grandad." I said, "Oh, okay, what's that then?" So he opened it up, and it was some signed photographs of various Manchester United players. Well, my dad's an avid fan.
Yeah.
All the men in the family are, and a lot of the women, to be fair.
Yeah.
So my dad will be really pleased at that. But I thought it was funny because there's a player called Fellaini who's got sort of big microphone hair,
Right, okay,
big afro, and my mum thinks he's a rubbish player.
okay.
She doesn't like him because she says he's rubbish. And any time that he scores even a whisk of a goal or just a sniff of near the ball or helps someone else who scores a goal, they sit there going, "Oh, for Fellaini, great player, great player." No, he's not. He's rubbish. But she fights every time.
Even though they're just winding her up.
Yeah. I can't remember what I was watching the other day. Maybe it was the Hannah Gadsby thing, the second show. Might have been her, it might be someone else. They were talking about homophobia.
Okay.
And saying it's not a phobia, it's just hatred.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
It's not
I don't know why they call it a phobia.
Psychological illness.
They don't get really
Causes
scared
and distress. It's not a phobia of any kind. It's
No.
ignorance, fear, hatred, bigotry, and just being a complete and utter dick.
Why do they call it that? I don't understand.
So I'm going to make a special effort now not to use the word homophobia and just call it out for what they are. Idiots. Intolerant morons.
Yeah. Ignoramuses.
A waste of DNA.
What is the Latin suffix for hate then, rather than fear?
I don't know.
Because homo hater just sounds a bit weird. Can't call them that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with something like cockwomble or dickwad.
My husband uses dickwad all the time. It's his favourite word.
I quite like cockwomble. That makes me smile.
Yeah, cockwomble's funny. And that's a specific action, though, isn't it?
Yeah, or the sort of for the Scottish side of the family with the infamous ball bag. I think that's funny.
That's a good one. Phil's other favourite insult is penis breath.
Oh, okay.
Which would be quite apt, especially if it's a man being rude and nasty about another gay man.
Yeah, you know. Some of them doth protest too much.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, we could go with that one. But yeah, definitely. And
I always take issue with the thing of, oh, well, they're all right as long as they leave me alone. Why would they be interested in you? You know, seriously, have you looked in the mirror?
That's making me laugh. although, what's her name? The Dowager does say, doesn't she? You know, it's perfectly fine. It's like religion. It's perfect. It's like religion is like a penis. It's perfectly fine to have one. Just don't wave it in my face. Which makes me laugh. But she doesn't actually say that, I don't think. I think that was just a meme. Did you see on the news this morning? Because you know, I watch the channel that loads of people don't like to. I watch GMB with Piers Morgan on it because the government are refusing to go on there. They're on day 36, I think it is, of refusing to send any of their MPs onto GMB because he keeps asking all these awkward questions that they don't know the answers to. And I'm watching it at the moment because I think it's quite funny, actually. Sometimes when you watch the BBC, sometimes they'll ask the ministers a question and they'll give an answer and then they just go, oh, okay, thank you for that answer. Whereas Piers, he is a bit of a cockwomble, but he does at least challenge them. And that's why they won't go on there. And I think it's quite funny. So there was some guy on this morning. I don't even know who he is. He's not in the cabinet, so he's not banned from going on. He is a Conservative MP, something to do with the military something or other. Tobias Selwood?
Don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, he's a Conservative. And did you see the big news story this morning that the government are going to make it law that you can't have sex with somebody that you don't actually live with? basically what it is somebody's twisted the headline, twisted the rule to make headlines. So basically it is the rule at the moment that you cannot go to somebody else's house and go in their house, and you cannot be within 2 meters of that person, right?
Yeah, so it makes it a bit difficult unless you've got an appendage.
Well, exactly. So basically what they're saying is, all right, so all the time that we're not allowed to go to someone else's house and we can't go within 2 meters, that means that you can't have sex with somebody that you don't actually live with and that you're not married to. So therefore we're going to get this really great headline out of it, that the Tories are going to make it illegal to have sex if you're not married.
Oh,
and
awesome.
It makes me laugh. It really, really makes me laugh. And Piers was having a go at this guy, right? This Tobias Elwood, and he was like, "Well, can you comment on this?" And he was going, "Well, I haven't read the story." And he's like, "Well, I've just read the story to you. I'll read it to you again." And he read it to him about 4 times. And the guy kept saying, "But I don't know the story. I can't answer because I haven't read the story." And he said, "Well, I've just read you the story 4 times." It was really funny. And then eventually the guy said, "Oh yeah, it's ridiculous."
But I mean, at the end of the day, the government are supposed to be there to be held to account. And they really slagged off Keir Starmer the other week when he wiped the floor with Boris Johnson at PMQs. He really did.
He did.
But he's a barrister, you would expect that. He's got the skills and the mental sharpness. And he researches his subject as opposed to having a crib note written on the inside of his hand so that he can bluff and bluster through the topic. So he's actually done the work and read the material.
Yeah.
Done his homework. And to slag off a leader of the opposition and say that it's point scoring, you know, I don't remember any of the Conservatives being helpful during the banking crisis. I remember them ripping Labour apart over the banking crisis, and conveniently forgetting that they had deregulated the banks to the point where they were a bunch of reckless, drunken, drugged up gamblers.
Yeah.
In the investment centre, who just basically were blowing money like nobody's business, like they were on Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I just think it's appalling, this just screaming hypocrisy at every single turn. You know, if you're wrong, put your hand up. You know, and this business where Matt Hancock said, "Oh yeah, we've hired 25,000 people and not all of them are doing stuff," it means we've got spare capacity. That's a good thing. Well, no, it means you completely misjudged it. And why can't we have an app that's been used worldwide successfully by other countries and has been running since about February? Why haven't we been using an existing app all along? Why do one of the Conservatives' mates, one of Dominic Cummings' friends, why are they getting millions of pounds of our money to develop an app that isn't actually working yet?
Yeah.
Why is that going on? And if the opposition can't hold them to account, what's the point of a parliamentary system? Because that means this is a dictatorship, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the dictator isn't Boris.
It's the whole argument that we said the other day about Dominic Cummings not being an elected official.
Yeah.
And yet he's still running the show, isn't he?
Yeah. Absolute disgrace. And they're so annoyed that it's not going away. God, I was tempted to make a nice quiche or something and send it to Ian Hislop, because I thought that was hilarious. Even my mum had said the other day about how funny they were. Although she's decided she doesn't like Paul Merton anymore, he's gone a bit weird, was the expression.
I think he's been like that for a long time, hasn't he?
He has been a bit strange for quite a while, but didn't his wife die or something, and his wife died of cancer or something like that, and he's just been a little bit different. I mean, he was always off the wall.
Yeah.
It's not beat about the bush. He was always very different.
Yeah.
But he's been just a bit more wacky since then, and I don't know if he's trying a bit hard.
I don't find him as funny as Ian Hislop.
No.
I really don't. And he always takes the mickey out of him, saying, oh, Ian, was that an attempt at a joke and blah blah blah. But actually, I think he's got a really dry, witty, and he's got a knack of saying exactly what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah, I think that's the difference.
Whereas Paul Merton, he'll just come out with weird things, and you're like, what was that supposed to be?
Yeah, I don't always get it, but there you go. Yeah, I like Ian Hislop. I think he's extremely funny, and he's fair. And when he's wrong, he says so.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's wrong with this entire government. Nobody's prepared to admit to being wrong. Nobody's prepared to apologise. The arrogance and the expectation, the fact that they demand respect. Well, newsflash, respect has to be earned.
Yeah, you earn it.
Yeah, he's not getting it.
Well, you know, there's a simple solution, and we've just worked it out. Ian Hislop for PM, haven't we?
We probably have. I mean, we've avoided the sort of main topic of the moment.
What, knitting?
No, we've kind of done a bit of that.
Oh, okay. What's the main topic?
I think what's going on in America at the moment.
I have no words. I honestly have no words.
I read a workbook yesterday called White Supremacy and Me, or Me and White Supremacy, whichever way round it was, by Layla somebody else. If anybody wants the link, I'll link to it.
Yeah,
but it asks you a lot of very pertinent questions, and for all I've actually stood up for people of colour, Indigenous people, LGBTQ, all my life I have fought for the underdog. Because a lot of the time I've been there and I know what it's like, and it's not pleasant, and sometimes you need a gobby cow in your corner who will stand up and say what no one else will.
Yeah,
I always try to do that, but I can do that because I'm speaking from a place of white privilege, where I'm not frightened to go to the shops and be arrested on the way because I know the law.
Yeah.
And I'll quote them, the various acts, from Traffic, from Public Order Act 1986, and all of these other things, I will throw right back at them. And they know that they're dealing with someone who knows their rights. And if they stop me without good cause, they'll be letting me go.
But does that make your contribution to the fight any less valuable, though?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think
you shouldn't be penalised for that.
No, but I don't think I should use it as an excuse to sit on my haunches and not say something, because it feels a bit like Hitler in 1939, where a lot of Europe sort of went, oh, well, it's kind of really not our problem.
It's over there.
And then it was. And then it was very much their problem. And I feel that if we're quiet about it and we don't call it out every time that we could, and we don't become quite vehement anti-racists, then we're almost complicit, and it's an uncomfortable feeling.
But I don't know how to be an anti-racist in a day-to-day. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are you, unless you come across something that you see that's an injustice, how are you supposed to?
I think if you see it, call it out, tackle it, film it, photograph it, report it, share it, phone it in, whatever. I think that as a starting point for everybody is a great place to start.
But what happens if you're not seeing it?
If you're not seeing it, I don't know that there's much you can do other than to say that the solidarity. I mean, I shared a post yesterday or the day before, which was somebody had put pictures about, a lot of people are saying it, and it boils my blood, because they're going, well, I'd support them if they wouldn't riot, if they'd just protest peacefully. I'm sorry, the guy bending the knee was slagged off and accused of disrespecting the flag, when actually what he was doing was a peaceful protest against the unlawful, unnecessary murders of thousands of black people over the years. This isn't a new thing, and if platform that you had, not for that. And I'm not saying that every police officer is complicit, because the vast majority, is probably 99.9% of the police, are going to be like they are here, where they're great, where they're really committed to serving everybody and they see everybody as equal. But all it takes is one governor, a sheriff, or whatever in a town, a city, or a county, or a state to sit on their hands and let that become rotten in the way that it has, where this has happened. And they're the ones that need to be doing something. And white people there need to be speaking out and standing up. There's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
Because we're not in the middle of it. But I think if we see it in every day, or in the grocery store, or at the petrol station, or at the park, if we can, in a safe manner, I think we should film it, shout it, call it out for exactly what it is. But if we can't, then I think we have to speak out and support, because people don't riot unless they're on the very edge. They don't riot for fun. And nobody's showing photographs of the communities, people in their thousands coming out to clean up.
Yeah.
That's not making the news.
Well, we're only seeing what we're allowed to be seen, aren't we? You know, what's interesting, what's sensationalist. But for me, this goes deep, because in order for there to be 4 police officers at that scene, one with his knee where he had it, completely out of order, but the other 3 to stand there and watch this go on, that just shows how deep it goes. Not one of those people said to him, hang on a minute, mate, get off.
No. So, not one of them said that it was wrong, that you're being too violent, the guy can't breathe. They all just stood there. And they're complicit. They're complicit. They're part of that murder.
And America has the law, don't they, that if you are present at a murder and you don't do anything to stop the murder, you are a murderer.
Yeah. And if there are people watching who say, oh, there's no such thing as white privilege, blah, 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 look at the case of Felicity Huffman, the actress, who cheated a test.
Was that the one?
Her daughter into a better college, right?
Yeah.
And got 14 days for her sentence, versus the black single homeless mother who lied about what school district she was actually not even living in, because she didn't have a house, living in the car, and gets 6 years in jail. And tell me that that's fair.
It's not fair. And I've always thought that the American jail system is a bit ridiculous, really, to be honest. Somebody, I was watching a program and somebody spent a month in prison for being drunk and disorderly. I mean, what's that all about? I mean, what would we do? Take them to the police station, stick them in the cells overnight and sober them up and then send them home?
Yeah.
Wouldn't send them to prison for a month.
Well, yeah, I think it's completely disproportionate. And it seems to be more disproportionate based on the colour of your skin. And that's what I object to, that it's not fair for everybody. And it's not just the black communities, it's the indigenous peoples. All of these bigots and racists who are running around saying they can't breathe in a mask, well, try it with a 14-stone man kneeling on your neck. And then go and boo-hoo, and I might be prepared to listen to you. But the ones who are crying about their own personal freedoms, and the fact that the president says a bunch of imbeciles who won't wear masks, who won't follow lockdown and clearly want to die, and turn up armed at a rally are law-abiding citizens because they're white supremacists. A bunch of black people minding their own business on the way to work are quite likely just to be shot, arrested, pulled over, or harassed. And the guy who died was accused of passing a counterfeit note.
$20.
Yeah, a $20 bill. So let's put this into perspective, because I was accused of the same thing a few years ago with a £20 note, where the girl in the shop had one of those highlighty pen things, ultraviolet pens, and she said, oh, it's a forgery. I just got that money out of the bank, and I was on the CCTV going into the bank, getting that money, coming out, and walk into that shop on cameras from stuff. So I was able to prove that that money had come straight from the bank. So I wasn't passing fraudulent notes. The bloody bank were. But I've got the privilege of being a white person in a sane country. Well, semi-sane.
Well, it's getting less sane by the day, let's be honest.
Yeah. So
But,
I don't know.
when you look at like the American gun laws,
Oh yeah.
um, it would be really interesting, and I think I know the answer, but it would be really interesting to see the proportion of people who have a license and carry a gun who are white compared to who are in the BAME community. Really, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
I bet there's barely anybody who's a non-white, if you want to call them that would carry one, because it just wouldn't be worth it, would it?
No. And that's the problem.
You know, I was watching, and I know it's only a TV show, but I was watching one of the later episodes of Grey's Anatomy. I think it was like series 13 or series 14 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the ER, and this young 13-year-old lad got rushed into hospital, into the emergency room with a gunshot, and he had been shot trying to climb into his own house because he'd forgotten his key, and a policeman had shot him thinking that he was breaking in and had killed him.
See, and it's these unconscious biases and assumptions that until people start admitting they've actually got them.
It was a nice area. The dad was a doctor, the mum was a lawyer or something, so they were well off. And because they were a black family in a nice area, the police just assumed that a black kid climbing in the window couldn't possibly just happen to be a typical teenager who's gone out without his key and mum and dad are at work, so I'm just going to climb in the window.
Oh, do you know, it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Why would you shoot him? Why would you shoot any 13-year-old? Even if he is breaking in, you don't shoot them.
Well, no, exactly. And they're all a bit gun happy for me.
Well, yeah. It's definitely, my mum has said it for years. She said they shoot first, ask questions later.
Well, and that's the problem. If they're all too trigger happy, and I don't get it. I really don't. And they go on about knife crime in London, and yeah, we do need to tackle knife crime. But when was the last time we had a school shooting massacre? Because the only reason they've stopped in the States at the moment is their schools are being shut. So none of you nutcases with guns could go in there and shoot people.
Exactly. And I know we have the odd person that just gets caught up in this knife crime thing accidentally, but I would say the vast majority of them are involved in the culture.
I think it's the anniversary this week of the Cumbria shooting.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
You don't tend to go up and stab somebody to death who you've no clue who they are. Usually it's like, that person stabbed somebody in our gang, so we're going to get them back, isn't it?
It's 10 years today.
Was that what's it called?
Derek, his guy was called Derek Bird, but
in what's it called? What was the village?
Well, he started. He went right the way across the West Coast. I'm not sure if it was Cleatamore or somewhere where he started.
Oh.
But it was across Copeland. Jake's dad, unaware, was actually following his vehicle at one point on his way home.
I would be very, very, very upset if we ever had armed police generally.
So he started in Lampley, moved to Frizington, Whitehaven, Egremont, Gosforth, Seascale.
Blimey. It's more than I thought.
It was driving around for hours. It's because we didn't have armed police. We share them with another force.
Well, each force should have their own, but I wouldn't want all police to be armed.
Well, they had to, in the end, work. There's armed police at Sellafield at the nuclear site, because that's one of the few places you can have armed police, and it has its own force. And they work very closely with Cumbria police and assisted in this particular case. But had armed police been available within Cumbria a lot faster, then this would have been.
Yeah.
The thing is, people were phoning in with where he was.
Yeah.
Word soon gets round a small community, and they were phoning in. But
Yeah.
Jane's dad was following him for about 5 miles.
So the other one, what was the other one? Oh, there was another one where he killed someone who just happened to be walking back from getting his newspaper or something. And then he shot a policeman, and the policeman's blind now. Was that Rothwell?
I don't know.
I think that was not as far back as the one that you're talking about. But that was the same. It was on the TV. It come on, and it's, you know, if you're in this area, stay indoors. But if you see anything, ring in, sort of thing. And I think the policeman stopped him, not knowing that he was armed, and he went to ask him something, and he shot him in the face and blinded him or something.
Yeah, it says 13 deaths, including perpetrator, and 11 injured, non-fatal.
Did he kill himself, or did the police kill him?
He killed himself.
Right.
Saves paying for a prison cell.
Well, and also saves the poor policeman having to explain his actions as well, I suppose. Suicide by cop and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it was all ridiculous. One of the people killed was Mike's solicitor.
All right.
Yeah, he knew him quite well. So yeah, it was all rather odd, and it was all about getting hold of his mother's money, because he had gambling debts, I think. So yeah, I suppose there'll be a lot of people up and down the county who've got very sad memories today.
Yeah, it's not a good day.
I suppose it's a good day for those who survived, and that he's not going to do it again, and that we don't have a nation full of guns. The likelihood of it happening again is extremely low.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't own many guns. Most people who own guns tend to be like farmers and stuff, don't they?
Well, farmers' mums, you know. To quote, is it Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
Everybody's packing here. Farmers' mums.
I love that movie. That is a good movie.
Fancy something from the shop. I like the where they're all on the little radio heads, the set things, the walkie-talkies, as he's wandering around the town, and it's check out Sergeant Angel's arse.
Ah. I didn't say Arthur. I said arse.
Close enough.
It's as if it's food, I'll have it.
Anyway, sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. I don't know what my machine.
You abandoned me for about 15 minutes.
But I'm sure you managed. You're perfectly capable.
I don't know. I was waffling.
Why are you on rational fly today?
I don't know. It just came up, and I just thought, why not? Sounds perfectly reasonable, doesn't it?
Oh, did I tell you I watched Space Force on Netflix the other day with Steve Carell?
Right.
Really enjoyed it.
Yes, you did, because I asked you, is he the one from Evan Almighty?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Not laugh out loud all the time funny, but funny, and good relationships, and kind of invested in the characters very early on. And it's always good to see John Malkovich in anything. It's, you know.
Being John Malkovich.
I never watched that.
I never watched it.
I didn't fancy the concept.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, it didn't to me. A bit creepy.
What's the other cult one? With Nail and I never watched that either.
I watched about 10 minutes of it. And I just wanted to stick them both in a bleach bath and make them shut up.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm probably in the minority on that one because people do get really invested in it.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Never fancied it myself. No, not at all. Right, are we
Yeah, time to go, I think.
are we off until Thursday?
Yeah.
Quick flash. It's
Yeah.
looking gorgeous.
This is
Love
the
that.
Starcraft special in blush.
Ooh, blush.
My little peachy cheeks.
Ah. Like your cheeky face.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you my teddy bear? No, that didn't mean Labradors.
Obviously it did. I mean, come on.
Yeah, obviously think so, but never mind. So we'll see you Thursday at the usual time, but no clap for carers.
No, not this week.
Well, at least I don't think so. I don't think anybody
I
here's
don't think
doing
we're
it.
going. No, I think everyone was saying last week for it to be the last one.
Yeah, if they don't want us to do it, I don't think we should. And
I think personally, if I was in the NHS and I saw all those scenes of people at the beach at the weekend, I'd be saying, "Don't you dare come out and clap for me after that."
yeah, and we won't even mention the idiots jumping off Durdle Door and
No, don't.
morons, absolute morons.
Why are they all queuing up to get? Oh, honestly, don't get me started.
Yeah, when we rule the world, things are going to be very different, chaps.
Honestly, you cannot be that bored, seriously. Well, people just think it's over and done with now, don't they? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, and when the PM's own advisor just treats it that it's okay to go to his mum's 70th and he can trot out for his wife's birthday with some pathetic excuse about it being an eye test.
The Cummings effect.
No, they're just and when you talk to the police, when I talk to our local police, everyone they start, well, I just tell them I'm Dominic Cummings. What argument have you got?
The police can't do anything, can they? That's
No.
what they keep saying, that it's just made their life impossible.
Yeah, we won't even go into the thing of the litter in the lakes this weekend.
No, don't. The whole thing is just really winding me up.
Yeah, we don't deserve this planet. We're just not fit to be fleas on a dog, I don't think, as a species.
The planet was loving everybody being locked away in their houses.
I know. Somebody had put, I think it's great. It's called something like Mr. Spock's dank meme stash or something like that. I occasionally share the odd meme from it because some of them are quite funny.
Yeah,
really made me laugh, and it was Sulu at sat at the sort of helmet of the ship, and he's looking through one of those sort of scientific things, staring into it like this, and then sort of sits back. And then Kurt goes, "Are you looking at porn again?" And then has a look and then says, "Where are all the women?"
You're all locked up.
It makes me laugh at how blind Bill Shatner was, because apparently he was the only one who never realised.
Right, okay.
Even though Sulu always brought a male date to the end of show wrap-up parties and stuff. Always used to comment on how many nice friends he had.
Honestly, I think it would be like my mum. My mum would just be like, "Oh, right, yeah. Oh, he's just a bachelor, is he? Oh, yeah.
Yes, a gay bachelor.
Yeah. Oh, he's happy. Yes,
That's
Mum.
the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that would tickle you.
Yeah. I love it.
Right.
All right. I'm going to go and feed this dog and get a little snack because you can't go shopping on an empty stomach.
No, and you'll need a horse pee before you go.
I definitely need one of those. Definitely. Yeah.
Big one.
So I will see you on Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Have fun, everybody.